Greetings. You are now tuned into the HittMobb podcast series, where we discuss the art, business, legacies, and lifestyles of music production with your hosts, David Vanderpool, known as Prestige, and Paul Hendricks, known as Baby Paul. Let's get to it.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Prestige, and this is the HittMobb podcast.
What's going on? It's your boy, Baby Paul, a.k.a. B.P.Z. We in the building. HittMobb is in second season, and we doing our thing.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
we got an exciting topic.
Yeah. I put it this way. To me, this is more than a topic. This is like a cultural aspect of the music industry from the standpoint of what we've done as contributing music producers. And we want to talk about bars, but we got an acronym for this.
Yes.
Beats, artists, rhymes, and stand power.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to be able to rap, but it's one thing to be able to be around and have a career being able to rap. So we're going to break down, in our opinion, who we think really got them bars.
But the thing is with this, I feel like we mentioned bars, right? But I mentioned the first thing that comes to mind is beats. And to me, that's lacking, and no one talks about that anymore.
That's true.
So what about that?
Well, look, put it this way, man. I know for me as a consumer, even outside of my opportunity to have a career and actually contribute to the music industry and the culture, like the beat grabbed me first. And I studied the music. I studied the producers behind the music first before I got into what the artist had to offer. And I feel like that's one of the most important things. The foundation is gonna rope you in first, and then what the artist is offering on the music is what's gonna keep you there.
But today's I see the internet is a whole bunch of shit talk, and like as far as like a lot of dudes, I hear bars, like you could sell an acapella,
Right.
like people would buy acapellas the way these guys push the bars thing, right? But to me, it goes in this order: beats, artists, rhymes, and staying power. That's
Facts.
what I think bars
Facts.
is.
And don't jack this acronym, ladies and gentlemen. We
Yes.
set it up. HittMobb.
Yes.
You dig? All right.
Exactly.
Disclaimer.
And like a lot of people is on me. I don't really listen to a lot of music today.
I know we have these conversations. I be critical of you when I be like, yo, you ain't even listening to the album, but you critiquing it. But I understand why, and I'm gonna let you get to that point.
The way I scan albums. Like if I just go through the music and it don't grab me, I just keep it pushing. So like I hear 2 or 3 seconds of the track, and I'm not. If I don't feel it, I move on.
I feel like for me, because in hip hop in particular, I noticed that you may not catch up the value of a beat within 3 to 5 seconds, because some records have an intro and the beat builds. So once the beat builds and the song really starts, that's when I could say, this ain't moving me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I tune out.
Yeah. So
because I do that in my car. You know what I'm saying?
So all right, so let's name some artists that you might think that really fits this acronym that we're talking about today.
Well, put it this way. If you talk about from the earlier part of the culture, like the 80s, definitely Run DMC. You know what I'm saying? Like them early joints, Sucker MCs, Peter Piper, My Adidas, beat grabs you right away, and then what they brought to it made you stay. Because come on, Sucker MCs, you can't deny that record.
Oh, definitely
shout
not.
out to Larry
Definitely.
Smith.
Yes.
Houdini, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Freeze Come Out Night,
But
Friends.
fast forward that into to today's like modern what's going on right now.
Okay.
Apply this to that now.
Okay. Wow. Are we talking about hip hop or just any genre? Don't matter.
Well, the only thing we talking about is hip hop.
Okay, so initially, I would say Definitely Dr. Dre. He still keeps my ears. You know what I'm saying? Primo, Alchemist, shout to them. You know what I mean? They're doing their thing on tour right now. I'm actually enjoying what Pete Rock's been doing lately. You know what I'm saying?
I was asking you about the artist.
But we gonna start with the beats though, right?
All right.
You get my point.
You
get my point.
Yeah, all right.
Because we said, for me, it starts with the beat, then it's the artist. So I mentioned those producers because I'm appreciating, as far as for today's times, what they're still doing. And as far as artists, because man, a lot of the current artists, they don't really got good beats, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100. Some of them don't got no good beats, man. You know,
well,
there's a handful that'll be like, oh, that's fire.
So let's articulate that a little bit more, because we can say this statement, right? Mm-hmm. Then the younger crowd is gonna say we're haters.
Right.
That we kind of out of touch and we don't know what we talking about.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
But I have to tell them this, like, we've done this for years. And we knows what goes into making records. Mm-hmm. And we knows what goes into making certain records last, right? Mm-hmm. But to me, like, out of all these sounds and sound libraries and all of these things that these kids have today that we wish we had back then, we have still half-ass records to me. Because like, why is like every record is an 808 clap? And these
it's very predictable sounds.
Yes,
to your point. You know what I'm saying?
So that's why I don't really choose to listen to. I don't choose to listen to any music that's done today. So like, let me see if I can pull out something just to demonstrate what I'm talking about.
Right.
Let me see. I think I got something right here that's gonna demonstrate it. Why? All right, this is perfect. All right. See this, everyone? See everyone sees this?
Yeah.
This is a New York Metro card, right?
Correct.
So this could get you from Manhattan to Brooklyn.
And Queens.
Into the city, right? I can swipe this card and stay in Brooklyn, right? I can swipe this card and go to Manhattan, right? Or I can swipe this card and go to Queens to get to the JFK and go other places for the shit to travel. So, but a lot of niggas' music could be like this.
It just stays in the city.
It stays wherever and it goes nowhere.
That's a crazy analogy. I think that's a soundbite, bro, for this episode, hands down. But you know, it's crazy because a lot of music is predictable. It's disposable art in today's time. So that's our position on the fact that there's no distinction when it comes to music production on a lot of what the music production by young musicians are offering. It's like, I can't tell a Drake record from a Travis Scott record from, like, musically there's not much distinction. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Kanye's managed to stay relevant, but I think even with what he's doing more so recently compared to early in his career, it's more trend following than trend setting.
Well, I think to me, Kanye kind of like made himself more of a spectacle more than the music. So to me, like, you just tune out.
Yeah.
You know, he's more known for
antics,
the buffoonery,
the rants
and all of this stuff,
the public scrutiny from his lifestyle, as opposed to the music. It is what it is, man. Yeah, we said it. Salute. We give it up. We give the flowers for the nigga's contribution, but at the same time, if we don't like what you're doing, we're gonna speak on it, right?
Definitely. I mean, I liked a couple of his albums.
I think my last favorite album to me was Life of Pablo. Remember, we talked about this before.
I never got to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, Life of Pablo got some joints, you know, and that was within that pinnacle of his success when he did that. I think it was before him and Kim broke up. You know what I'm saying? But
but the thing I could say about Kanye, I didn't really like a lot of his mixes. And you know, people gonna say, well, oh, you a hater, you know, but you gotta keep in mind, I know what goes into it. Right. I go to studio
and you've made records,
and I made records, and when I hear other people's records, I hear the room in the records where they could have took it, but they're gonna be like, well, that was their vision. But then again, you could say, well, damn, the vision was kind of limited because It could have been to like maybe you bought the record to 80 to 90% when it could have been 100.
Right.
So
I can agree with that.
So like I go over H to the Izzo when he gave Jay-Z. I didn't like that mix because I thought it was too
rigid.
Huh?
It was too rigid.
No, the mix he didn't have enough bottom on it.
Oh.
It was like it's like a Neptune's mix.
We talked about too.
Yeah, it's like a Neptune's mix.
You definitely criticized a lot of early Neptune's records. You felt like
I know that was a sign they was like going hollow. For, right?
Yeah,
that's a sign they was going for. But I guess everybody got used to hearing it because they pay. There's a lot of marketing on it.
There's a lot of programming.
A lot of programming.
You hearing it on the radio. You seeing the videos, so you take it for what it is, as opposed to understanding what you're listening to sonically. You know, like as creators, we know the difference. So like I remember I had this analogy on season 1. I said I like to eat with my ears. Right.
So like if it's it has to be a nice plate of food, not just like a piece of chicken and a biscuit. The certain niggas that's a whole meal, but nah. I like a full plate, a nice full soul
with
plate,
some greens on the side,
everything,
mashed
all the
potatoes,
fixings,
all that, man. But
like a Thanksgiving plate.
Yeah,
for sure.
But again, like as you said, for today's times, man, there's only a handful of music that I personally connect to. So like you, I can tune out a lot of what's going on in the market fast because it's just like the music is not grabbing me, regardless of how good the artist is. We could take some of the top artists like a Kendrick, like a J. Cole, a Drake, and I can still say I can't listen to a whole body of work from any one of those artists. There's always a fast forward, and that's just my honest opinion in terms of music production.
Well, to me, I never was patient enough to sit down there.
And that's no slight against any of these artists talent-wise and their skill levels of C's. But we're talking about the music and how it connects with us as listeners from the music to the artistic performance and what keeps us interested. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely.
But we saying all of this, right? Give some people some examples of some albums that we feel like that's up there. That you can go back and listen to it from top to bottom.
Well, if I say Kendrick, I can listen to more of Good Kid, Mad City than I could this current album. But that's my personal opinion. That's an example. If I'm gonna take someone current, right? Drake, definitely earlier Drake. Like, the first album. You know what I'm saying? The one that after he did the mixtape run and had the song out with Trey Songz, and then that first album, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had a lot more music that I feel like I could still listen to now, you know what I'm saying? Compared to recent albums where it sounds like a compilation. It's so much, the music production is all over the place. But of course he got hit records, so no one hearing the sound of my voice on this subject is gonna agree. They're gonna be like, he got hits, that's cool. But can you listen to a whole album of Drake's music and not fast forward anything? That's the question. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
again, and that's a subjective opinion, you know?
But go over some albums that you feel that will stand the test of time and really reflect on what we're talking about right here.
Man, you talking about currently, or it doesn't matter when?
Don't matter when. That's the whole. That's the whole point.
Couple. I'm gonna just name a couple. Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders.
Yes.
Undeniable.
Undeniable.
Mobb Deep, Infamous.
Yes.
Undeniable.
Undeniable.
Paid in Full. Eric B. and Rakim.
Yes.
First album. You know what I'm saying?
I think as far as KRS on BDP.
Yeah.
The first album.
So it's between Criminal Minded and By All Means. Is it By Any Means Necessary? Was that the second album with My Philosophy?
I like the Edutainment.
That was a good album.
That's a dope album. I listened to it. It's dope.
And some people may argue about the Blueprint album, which is the original hip hop album named The Blueprint before Jay-Z's.
Yes.
And by all credibility, I will say the Blueprint by Jay-Z was an excellent album too. You know what I'm saying?
It was?
Yeah. You don't think so? The Blueprint album?
Was that the double album?
No, the first Blueprint album. That's the one with H to the Izzo and Girls, Girls, Girls. And
I like the Black album better.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The Black album was dope. But I can honestly say I might have had a fast forward or two on that one. You know what I'm saying?
Did?
For me, yeah. I think the Blueprint, I was able to listen to that just about everything on there and appreciate it.
I think his first album was something you could listen to.
Yeah, definitely. You know, of course, Illmatic, Nas, you know.
Yes.
We're going to go back a little further and go back again to the 80s and into the early 90s. Come on, the first Biz album was fire.
Oh, by far.
First Big Daddy Kane album was fire.
Yes.
Let's take it to the females.
Slick Rick,
Great Adventures.
Yeah,
Come
yes.
on.
Yeah.
MC Light, first album was fire. Queen Latifah's first album was fire.
Yes.
Come on. Rest in peace, DJ Mark, 45 King. I mean, man, I could say I appreciated the first Salt and Pepper album. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have too much fast forwards on that. I liked it. You know what I mean?
I did too.
But that's the point. A lot more staying power. And those are albums you could actually go back to. But a lot of those albums we mentioned, if you don't know them, you can go back to them and learn about them now.
In this episode, we took the time to download all the album covers so you could be in tune to what we're talking about. Now you could go to your favorite DSPs, download, and check out the albums. Now back to the episode. So as far as like, Public Enemy, I can still listen to the album too.
It takes a nation of millions.
Yes.
You know, De La Soul. You know,
De La Soul.
Yeah.
Which one?
Some people like De La Soul is Dead better than the first album though. What do you think?
I like both of them.
Yeah,
but I like De La Soul is Dead too.
Mm-hmm. I actually like their new album too. Shout out to De La, man. Their new album is actually pretty dope. I got to really take it in the last week or so. You know what I'm saying?
I skimmed through it.
Mm-hmm.
I like what I heard. See? I ain't get a chance to go back to it yet, but I liked it.
But see, that's a big deal for you because you admitted you skimmed through records, but what you skimmed through connected with you.
Yes.
You just had to take the time to listen.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's how I do it. Now, because like it's so everything's so microwavable today,
and it's so saturated. It's a saturated market. It's funny because that makes me think of that Jay-Z line on Renegade, that song with Eminem. He said, "Do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it?" You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just important to have that balance between the music and the artistry, like to keep people's attention. And I feel like because the market is so saturated, because the argument is that there's no hip hop songs charting on Billboard, no number one hits on the radio. This is a prime example of why. You know what I mean? A lot of lost quality in the art.
And of course, Biggie.
Come on, man. That's what going. All right. So the argument is, which is the better album, Life After Death or Ready to Die?
Life After Death.
Because it's a double album, or because you just like more songs from beginning to end?
I like more songs from beginning to end.
Music production, everything.
Everything is dope.
That's fair, man. As far as the current market, I do like Mobb Deep's new album. Mobb Deep's new album is dope.
Redman. I like this last.
You like the last? What was it? Muddy Waters 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fire. That was fire.
So I guess we're gonna sound biased because it's all people from our generation.
I'll say if we took it to the South, I would say, which Outkast album was it that had
Love Below?
No, was it the Love Below or is it Aquemini?
Which song what song you talking about?
Man,
so Fresh
Love Below was a double album, right?
Yeah.
So it was probably Aquemini before it. That's the one where it's So Fresh, So Clean, right? Aquemini? Am I right?
I'm not really sure.
Okay. I honestly like T.I.'s King album.
You do?
Yeah. That album was really, really dope. I think that was the height of his career when he had, What You Know About That.
Yeah. I like that.
He had that joint where he flipped the tip hook.
Yeah.
Why You Want to Do That? You know what I mean? Like that Tip album was fire. There's some Ludacris albums that was fire.
Yes.
If we're gonna go to Texas, come on. The first Ghetto Boys album was fire.
Oh, of course. And I like UGK.
That solo Scarface album, I think it's called The Fix.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one we had that Kanye joint with Jay on it.
Yeah.
That album was fire. I think it's called The Fix. Scarface.
Fix?
Yeah.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Cool.
First Beans album you worked on, that was fire.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Beans.
Beanie Siegel.
Yeah.
Beanie Siegel. Everybody gonna know Beans.
Yeah. And if you take it to the West, come on, NWA. I feel like Niggas for Life was my favorite out of all the NWA stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that album.
Was fire.
Yeah, that album was fire.
That album was fire. And first Cube album.
Oh,
America's
hell
Most
yeah.
Wanted.
Hell yeah.
Come on, man.
Hell yeah, man.
First Snoop album, you know? So
Yep. But all right. So which one of those albums really? We said beats, artists, rhymes, and staying power. So, all right. Which other albums that really represented that too?
Well,
but maybe
I
some.
can honestly say the majority of the albums we just started mentioning, from the West Coast to the South to the East, all had staying power.
I forgot Far Side.
Was it the first album? That was the one you used to go crazy about. You used to listen to that a lot.
I think it's the first and the second album.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, we talked about Slum Village recently.
Yeah, Slum Village.
Fantastic.
See, like, well, I just told you that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, to me, what made the album doper was the music, because the rapping.
Rest in peace, Jay Dilla, man.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Jay Dilla. The rapping was.
Didn't stay with you.
Huh?
Didn't stay with you.
No, but I like the production. So that's why I can still like really vibe on the music. To me, the music is most important.
Right. I mean, we didn't talk about the women as much. How do you feel about the first Fugees album? Or is it the second one, The Score?
The second one, The Score? I just I think I don't know if I remember I heard the whole album, but I know most of the records off the album.
So I felt like The Score was a dope album, and the subject matter and the songs timeless to this day. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Lauryn Hill's first album,
Miseducation.
You know,
I mean, like, what? Damn, like, she wrote that for how many years, and she's still writing that album.
Yeah, she is still touring the world. What you said, you only got to do something once. You know,
yes, man.
I put her in the category of Slick Rick, because Slick Rick to this day has survived off that first album. It's so great. You know what I'm saying?
But he's
put out music after that.
Yeah.
But people revere that first album. You know what I'm saying? Great Adventures. So I know as far as today's times, you're a big fan of Doja Cat.
Oh, yes.
You like what she's doing as an
I
artist.
like what she's doing. Every time that I hear her, it's a nice joint. That's
Now-
only female that I
Now, here's what I want to point out. Because to me, when I hear Doja Cat, I feel like she's a better singer than Nicki, but Nicki's still a better rapper than Doja. And Doja,
No, I like the whole package. Even though it's on that devil bullshit she on, I'm not really feeling.
we ain't gonna
not
get
really
into that,
feeling
but yeah,
but
some
like,
of her imagery be a little crazy. But you know, she's being an artist. It is what it is. But in my opinion, I feel like as she was coming up, she was definitely studying Nicki. I hear the influence in some of the stuff she does when she raps.
studying Nicki or the devil.
Oh my God. Yo, you ain't right, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear it in her rap style, in her delivery, and her cadences. But you know, would you say she got a classic album, Doja Cat?
That's hard to say.
But she made some hits that you recognize,
made some hits
that you appreciate.
Identify. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. I mean, in the female genre, there's so many other artists we probably didn't really cover, but I definitely got to give it up, like I said, to Lauren, to Latifah, to MC Lyte, Salt and Pepper. You know, they all delivered great bodies of work that you can go back to. You know what I mean? Foxy, Kim. You worked with Kim on her first album. Would you say the first album was a classic, Kim? Like musically.
I can say musically. Yeah, okay. Man. I can say that.
Okay. And no bias just because you produced on there. You did Dreams, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know my man Prestige did Dreams, you know what I'm saying, for Lil' Kim. Salute.
And it's so funny how that track came along because I put that tape in Biggie's hands and I gave it to Biggie. And I was so happy that I said, damn, I finally got something on Biggie's record.
Right.
Because I wanted to get on that double album so bad.
Right, Life After Death.
Yes. And I was happy. Then all of a sudden I saw it was on Kim's album. I said, oh, it's all good anyway. I got to work with Kim.
So a party was like, damn.
Yes.
But on the other side, he was like, okay, I got a major placement. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's a classic.
Yes,
when people think of Kim's earlier work, that's one of the songs they always go back to and big it up. You know what I mean? So you in the history books, brother.
Yes, man.
I'm just saying though, overall, in terms of staying power, I feel like some of these honorable mentions, you know, clearly we see Lauryn Hill has staying power off one album.
Yeah.
Slick Rick has staying power off one album. Nas has staying power throughout his whole career catalog, but that first album is just so highly revered.
Yes.
No matter what he's done, that's the album people go back to.
So let me ask you a real question.
Mm-hmm.
You think Nas could have been Nas without Illmatic?
Damn, that's a good question. Because you know what's so funny?
What?
His biggest hit single is If I Rule the World, a flip of a Curtis Blow classic featuring Lauryn Hill. That single to this day is probably the biggest selling single of his career catalog. It's the song off of his albums that he got to add to his performance, set because it was that big.
Yeah.
But the first album was just so critically acclaimed and still revered to this day. You know what I mean? So,
but do you think Nas would have been Nas without the first album?
I don't know. Let's
say.
Let's hypothetically erase Illmatic from the history books and
Yes.
in the musical existence of Illmatic. If he started with that second album, would he have the career he has to this day? It's kind of
That's up for question.
Yeah, because again, that was the hit record.
Yeah.
The first album had the classics and the critically acclaimed music, but there was no song off of the Illmatic that was bigger, like a single, than If I Rule the World. So, and I think that level of fame is partially what makes Nas still be who he is to this day. If he didn't have that level of success, it would have been harder to maintain a consistent career because that's the game. The more you permeate the mainstream and the more you're able to still continue to exist as long as you consistently put out music, right?
Yeah, and people got to understand, like, what a lot of artists don't understand. This business is not about you.
Mm-hmm.
It's never about you. You got to still please. You working for people. You got to please people.
You're a public servant. That is correct.
You're a public servant. People don't get that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
they get so wrapped into the artistry.
But like, you can have a bunch of art that people don't give a shit about.
Or support or consume. So you have to find that balance and understand it's a business. I agree.
So like, that goes back to the guys who's always emphasizing bars.
Mm-hmm.
We love bars, don't get us wrong. But we like the music than the bars. When artists find that
pocket
and stick to that, they'd be way more successful.
And honestly, a lot of the music that has staying power has that infinite balance.
Yes.
The albums we go back to, the records we listen to, the songs we mention, even the albums we mention, they all fall right in that pocket. It's a nice balance of the artistry and the music that supports the artistry. You can't have one without the other because honestly, anybody that can really rap but the beats is terrible, we're not listening to, we're not going back to. Anybody got really good beats but their raps is terrible, you might get by to an extent because they really love the music.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
man.
Staying power is still a question mark. You know what I'm saying?
But some of the albums that really we didn't mention the Main Source record album,
Oh, man.
Breaking Bad.
No,
Now-
Breaking Adams. You thinking of the TV show?
No, Breaking Adams, right?
Yeah.
And I listened to that album.
Still listen to that.
Still
album.
listen to the album. And to me, it had both. It had the beats and the rhymes. And I brought one of the songs that was up on that album and I listened to, right? And it was called Watch Roger Do His Thing.
Right.
So the production and everything was there, but the subject matter was crazy. So the subject matter was about him talking about someone from the hood that came up and did the white collar thing instead of legitimately and got paid legitimately.
Right.
And I thought it was such a powerful song because we're in our lexicon of hip hop, we don't really focus on that aspect of hip hop.
And coming from urban environments, people revere people from the street that get rich from street life. You know what I'm saying? Without getting too deep, but people revere that more than a person who actually came up and got rich being a doctor or a lawyer or, a psychiatrist or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So to have that in a hip hop song was dope. I get it.
So do you find us hypocritical as a culture?
Yeah, to an extent, because again, we can look at certain high level public figures who are currently being scrutinized without getting into detail. And we revere them from, what they did in the music industry, but as soon as they get something, in a public space that's highly scrutinized, now we walk away from it. But before that, they were like the biggest thing in the world, right?
No, I would say it like this. I think hip hop is hypocritical because it's fun when you're doing all the bullshit and everything.
Right.
It's fun when you're doing it. You get the clicks, you get the likes and all of that. Look, we seen a couple of cases like with Young Thug and all these guys, everybody, all the gangster shit, you running up and down and all of this shit. Next thing you know, you got charges, you got the boys, the judge in your life and all of this shit.
Alphabet boys on your heels.
Yeah. All of a sudden, everything not cool. I ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's the hypocritical shit. Everybody want to do the most, but don't do any time.
Right. They don't want to be held accountable. Exactly.
Yes.
And we tend to revere that. We tend to revere the drug dealers and the gangsters and the pimps and the thugs in the music and what they call the nerds.
Yeah.
And we're not going to point out any artists that fit that category, but that kind of exists within the culture. The ones that flew straight, that actually was raised right, that actually articulate in what they write about, and they don't maybe not be as violent or talking about things in reference to like street life, and they look at them like, but if they pop it and they get rich, then it's like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you know, we had positive role models in hip hop. One of them was Heavy D.
Definitely.
I always
one
loved
of your favorite artists when early in your career too.
I actually got to work with him.
Yeah.
The late great Heavy D.
Yeah, for sure.
I love the way he carried hip hop.
Right.
And
definitely carried it on his back in a positive light, and ironically, he was along with the Fat Boys, one of the first earlier artists that became like a sex symbol.
Yes.
With their music, but being like overweight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what he said, and then one of his songs, "Overweight Lovers in the House."
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So rest in peace, Heavy D, for sure.
Rest in peace. And you gotta remember, he was the first rapper that ever worked with Janet and Michael Jackson.
Wow, really? That's right. He was on that song Jam, right?
Yes.
Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And that was a big feat back then.
Yeah, for sure. What Janet song was he on? Remind me. You remember the name of it or how it went?
Not at the tip
moment?
of my tongue.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
but it was a hit though.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
We forgot to mention 50. Come on, Get Rich or Die Trying. Fire.
Oh, the album. Yeah. I thought you was saying you was trying to segue that he did a record with Michael Jackson.
Oh no. I was just talking about, artists that had an impact, that had the music and the lyrics and actually have staying power off of that. Because we talked about that in a previous episode. He's able to tour off of that album to this day. You know what I'm saying?
And man, I think I think that was the last one of the biggest hip hop records of all time. Really. Because think about anything else came out after that really shook the game like that.
Off that first album, and because it sold over 10 million, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So
it definitely made history.
So what about Wayne, Lil Wayne or something?
To me, out of Wayne's entire catalog, the Carter 3 to me musically was his best album. To me, that's my opinion. Carter 3 was the one. That's the one that people took him seriously as a superstar too. That's the song. That's the one we had Lollipop, Mr. Officer. You know what I mean? There was joints on that album.
All right.
All
right.
If we could circle back to Eminem being one of the biggest, rappers in the game and a respected lyricist, but we always have the same conversation about like the music don't stay with us, right?
Nah,
he has his moments though, and we're talking about the music and the rhymes. We're not talking about his talent level as an MC. Never that. But
to me,
like listening to an Eminem album,
I couldn't do it.
I tend to do a lot of fast forward musically. It doesn't always connect to me. I like the fact that he's a respected and credible lyricist, but like as far as listening to a body of work from production to rhymes, I can't listen to the whole Eminem album. I just can't.
Nah, I guess is that in what he's a dope rapper, but to me his music don't connect to me. It don't speak to me. So
right.
I can't get into it like that. So if you're talking about bars, he got bars all day.
Yeah.
But then again, is that other part he's missing. And I feel that as far as like you DJ, right?
Yes, sir.
You
Shout out to Untouchable DJs, my bro DJ Mr. FX. Queens
exactly. You
representation.
DJ. How many Eminem records you got
Wow.
in your stash that you play?
And I'm not hating. All due respect. I don't think I have any. I've listened to his albums. I got them in my iTunes, my Apple Music playlist. A few songs from, Stan was a classic. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't really
My
play
Name
that.
Is a classic.
Can't really play that.
you making your point. Man.
So, but like I'm saying, like, well, damn. But how you could be one of the biggest rappers in the world and you don't have records that people could always go back and play? Because to me, that's the part that makes you immortal.
That's deep.
That's the part that makes you immortal as a rapper.
That's deep.
Like,
and it's kind of like
Tupac got plenty.
We can't forget Pac, man.
Biggie got plenty. Who else? You got joints. You got Jay joints you play, right?
Absolutely.
You got Nas joints you play?
Absolutely.
You got who else?
I got Pac joints. Like, ironically, people might argue, but Me Against the World is my favorite Tupac album. You know what I'm saying?
I like Machiavelli.
I was gonna say my second favorite is Machiavelli. A lot of people who are really stuck on All Eyes on Me, the double album, the whole Death Row wave he was on. But like Me Against the World just had more poignant songs that I related to conversation wise. And
plus,
the production was solid. Shout
yeah,
out to
plus
Easy Mo B.
like,
You know what I'm saying?
Plus that I think I could always go back and listen to these records.
Absolutely. Like Machiavelli was like the pinnacle of his career before his passing. And it was a dope album too. Like you can still listen to a lot of the joints on that album. But I felt like Me Against the World is musically and lyrically the most timeless of his catalog to me. Man.
And on that note, we got to wrap it up. So, shout out to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Catch us on the next episode, and remember the merch.
HittMobb.com, you know what I'm saying? And we got some definitely special announcements in the new season. So stay tuned, man. Appreciate y'all support. Peace.